Good morning, traders. Welcome to today's market review. This is Fred Razak at CMTrading. Today is March 12th, 2018, and today is Monday morning. So looking at the economic events of the day, there's nothing scheduled for today, but as the week moves on, we have some events coming up. But lots happening in the markets, a lot of rotations, mainly because of the NFP last week, and let's take a look at what's been happening. So we're jumping here into the EURUSD and we're looking at a 4-hour chart. Let's move to a 1-hour chart to highlight this a little bit. So we had this event last week, a couple of important events. This was the ECB rate decision right there. And we rallied right nicely. We didn't continue the rally. We kind of leveled off at 124,335 and didn't make it higher. So we created ourselves a nice resistance up there. And then as the NFP came out, we had a little bit of a surprise. The Dow went up, and that's usually a negative result for the dollar, okay? But instead of the euro going up against the dollar, it went down. So it was a little bit of a surprise that we had this massive sell-off, okay, with the EURUSD selling off from 124 to 123. Now, we settled on a somewhat of a support level here at 122.89-ish level, and we bounced off of it. So, I mean, ultimately, we're really back to where we were before these whole two events that came up last week. So we have to see some direction, outside of these news events towards where we're going to be headed into the coming weeks as the trading sessions are going to be continuing. Now we're into the March session. March is really a volatile month for the equities market generally because it's earnings season. So it may affect the EURUSD on the back end of that. Looking at the GBPUSD, as we've been trading yesterday, since last week, not much happening at 138.57, but what's nice to see is that we're bouncing off of this 137.90. Okay, so there's still some strength, but we're trading within these two ranges. Okay, so 137.90 is a decent place to actually pick it up. We're right in the middle of that, so I'd like to see a little bit of either a rally or a sell-off to either pick it up. So, as the market has been rotating, looking at the USD ZAR, got a little bit stronger, and this was, this is what I anticipated. Okay, the dollar getting a little bit weaker versus the rand, and we're trading at before 11.92, and now we're trading at 11.82. So now it's a decent rally for the ZAR. Now looking at the Aussie USD, continued our rally, and we're closing in at this 78.88-ish resistance level on the upper range here, as you can see. So I'd like to see that actually continue because the Dow is, continuing up on its upwards trend even this morning as we speak. So we'll take a look at that in just a moment. But looking at gold, gold is looking like it's going to sell off here. So 1325, nice resistance level, and we look like we're going to sell off here. So let's see if we do get that sell off. We may see it go back to the lower 1312, and if we break that, maybe back to the 1300 level. Okay, slowly but making a nice head and shoulders rotation here, as you can see, as we've sold off. Looking at oil, oil's been choppy, like I said last week, between this 62 and 60-ish level, where our ranges are coming a little bit tighter than before, and just have to anticipate smaller volatility within the price of oil. So taking a look at that as that continues to trade during the week. Now let's take a look at the Dow Jones. Dow Jones trading at 25,486. Last week we were trading as low as 24,242. So this is a massive rally. Okay, altogether it's 1,200 points, of a nice rally just in 1 week, which is, I mean, in these levels, it's tremendous. Okay, this type of volatility in the market is what makes the big traders big winners on these type of days, and it will look like we're going to continue our little rally here. The next real resistance level is 25,795, which is still a ways before. So we may have maybe a little sell-off as the week continues, and then maybe a continued rally. But just keep in mind that there's a lot of major companies coming out with earnings this month, so it should be kind of interesting, if they're still very positive on the outlook. A lot of new jobs being created over the last month, so that's a positive news because of the NFP. So altogether, we're still biased on the upside with the dollar, with the equities markets, with the Dow Jones. Okay, possibly the longest bull run we've ever had in the market. So this is really something to to contend with on the upside. Now looking at the DAX, we carried ourselves higher this morning as well, trading at 12,439. I'd like to see this also close up this gap on the upside for maybe a continued rally. So take a look at that. JSC as well, rallying into the 52,682-ish level right here. We look like we're gapping up this morning. So let's see if we do get that continued rally. It's been kind of choppy, so it's really hard to say at these levels how much further we're going to go. A little bit of a resistance level that we are right here at 52,703, so we see ourselves closing this gap. So take a look at that as that continues trading. This is Fred Razak. I want to wish you guys a great trading day. Thank you.